Here are the video solutions for Pearson Edexcel Functional Skills Maths Level 2. This is past paper 2 and this is section A, which is the non-calculator section. So let's jump in and take a look at question number 1. A is find the median and B is find the mode. So the median, first of all we need to remember that the median is the middle value, but it's only the middle one when you put them in order. So let's put them in order. So we've got 2 10s and 3 11s, so the 10s are going to come first. Which one's smaller? That's going to be 10.91 followed by 10.94, and then we've got 2 the same, so it's 11.05 and 11.12, so 11.05 and 11.12 and 11.12. So to find the middle, what I would suggest doing is chop off 1 from the left hand side and the right hand side, and we're going to repeat this process until we get 1 or 2 in the middle. So here we get 1 in the middle, and the reason why we get 1 and not 2 is because we have an odd number of values. So this is the 1 in the middle, so the median is simply 11.05 seconds. Now for the mode is the most frequently occurring value. Well, there's only one value that appears more than once, and that is 11.12. So 11.12 is the most frequently occurring, so therefore 11.12 is the mode. So the mode is normally pretty easy to work out, whereas the median requires a little bit of effort. Question number 2, we're using this formula where A is 10 and B is 8, so H is going to be the square root of, in brackets, 10 squared take away 8 squared. So we need to be thinking about our bid mass here. So the first thing we need to do is sort out this bracket, 10 squared take away 8 squared. Now, but inside the bracket we've got some indices and subtraction, so we need to do the indices first. 10 squared is 100, 8 squared is 64, 100 take away 64 is 36. So H is going to be the square root of 36, and that makes me feel good because I know that 36 is a square number. 6 times 6 is 36, so H must be 6. Question number 3. So we know there's a total of 240 patients and a third chose pasta. So a pasta is going to be 240 divided by 3, so that is 80 people. So beef, I've just put stew, that is going to be 3/8 of 240. So when we're calculating a fraction of a total, we take our total, we divide by the number on the bottom, and then multiply by the number on the top. 240 divided by 8 is 30, 30 times 3 is 90 people. So how many people, let's just work out a total so far, so that's going to be 80 plus 90, which is 170 people. I should clarify that's just the total of pasta and stew. And we've been told that the rest have chicken, so therefore chicken is going to be the total number of people, take away the 170, and that is therefore 70 people choosing chicken. Okay, moving on to question 4, which is definitely the most challenging question on this section here. So first of all, we need to work out the area of 1 advertising hoarding, and then we'll work out 3. So we know that the triangular face is 0.12. Now there are 2 triangular faces, so let's just write here tri faces. So that's 0.12 times by 2, which is 0.24 square meters. Now we need to get everything in square meters because we know that the coverage of paint is 1 litre per 10 square meters. Now the problem is these dimensions here, all the dimensions given are in millimeters, so we need to turn these into meters. So to do that, now I don't know off the top of my head how many millimeters there are in a meter, but I can easily work it out because first of all, let's turn it into centimeters. I know that 10 millimeters is a centimeter, so if I divide all of these by 10, I've got it in centimeters, so that is 50 centimeters, 400 centimeters, and 60 centimeters. There are 100 centimeters in the meter, so if I divide all of these by 100, I've got it in meters, so that's 0.5 meters, that is 4 meters, and this is 0.6 meters. Okay, first of all, let's work out the area of the, let's call this the base. So the base, that is going to be 600 by 400, or 0.6 times by 4, and 0.6 times by 4 is 2.4 meters squared. We've got one decimal place in the question, so we need to make sure we've got one decimal place in our answer. So all we need to do now is work out this slanted face here and here. Now these are identical, so if I just call these the slants, so that's going to be 2, lots of, because there are 2 of them. So that's 2 times by, so this is 4 times by 0.5. Now 0.5 is otherwise known as a half. A half of 4 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So therefore the total surface area, total SA, is 0.24 plus 2.4 plus 4. These two can be easily added together, so that is 6.4 plus 0.24. Let's just scroll down a bit more. So you can put in a 0 there if you want. 4 plus 0 is 4, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 0 plus 6 is 6. Now, this is for one advertising board, so for 3 advertising boards it's going to be 6.64 times by 3, or we can just add 6.64 3 times, it might be easier. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12, 2 carry the 1, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19, 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So we've got a total of 19.92 square meters, and Roberto has got 2 litres of paint. Well, 1 litre covers 10 square meters, so if he's got 2 litres, 20 square meters, and 20 square meters, that is more than 19.92 meters squared. So the answer is yes, he does have enough paint. Here are the video solutions for Pearson Edexcel Functional Skills Maths Level 2. This is section B, the calculator section, and this is past paper 2. Okay, so let's take a look at question number 1. So we need to find a fridge that's got a width of less than 19 inches, a depth of less than 22, and a height which is less than 36. So what we are going to do is just convert these dimensions in centimetres into inches. So we can see that when we're going from inches to centimetres, we are multiplying by 2.54. So if we're going in the opposite direction, we need to divide by 2.54. So let's take a look at fridge A. So it's 47.2 divided by 2.54. Also 44.6 divided by 2.54. And 84.2 divided by 2.54. So what do these come to? Well, 47.2 divided by 2.54 is 18.58. That is less than 19, so that dimension will fit. 44.6 divided by 2.54 is 17.559, which is less than 22, so that depth-wise there's no issue. 84.2 divided by 2.54 is 33.14, and that is less than 36, so fridge A will fit. Okay, well that was nice and easy. I was expecting at least one fridge to be completely inappropriate before we discovered the correct one, but certainly not complaining, as that saved a few calculations. So here the answer is just fridge A. Write down the coordinates of point C. So remember, with coordinates we go along the corridor and up the steps. So in other words, we do horizontal then vertical, so we're going across to 1 and then down to -1. So the coordinates are 1, -1. Mark with a cross the point D so that ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, first of all let me just delete this ink here. So for me there are 3 possible solutions, but the most obvious one is going to be a point which is somewhere over here. So how do I get to C from A? Well, I go 2 down and 3 across. So let's do the same from B. 2 down, 1, 2, 3 across. There we go. There's point D, which has coordinates 5, 2. We don't need to worry about the coordinates, we just need to mark the X, and we are done. And write down the sum of the angles in a parallelogram. Well, a parallelogram has 4 sides, same as a square, same as a rectangle, so the sum of the angles is 360 degrees. Okay, so the builders in Hull say their average day rate is less than 153. Carla says that the average day rate is the same. So let's first of all work out, well, it all depends what we mean by average. Let's try mean. So the mean is we add them all up and we divide by the number of values. So 290 plus 75 plus 115 plus 84 plus 120 plus 89 plus 298 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that comes to a total of 1071 divided by 7, and that comes to £153. So this proves that the builders are correct. And let's go with what Carla says, which is that it is. So that is not the builders are correct. That is Carla is correct. So Carla is correct, and the builders say their average day rate is less than 153. Well, let's try another way of calculating the average by using the median. We can't work out the mode because there are no values that appear more than once. So first of all, let's put these in order. So 75, 84, 89, 115, 120, 290 and 298. So to find the median, that's the one in the middle, cross one off the left and on the right. Repeat that process again and keep going until we get 1 or 2 in the middle. Here we're going to get 1 in the middle because we have an odd number of values. So here the median is 115. So the median is £115. So this backs up the builders' statement, which is they are paid less in Hull. So builders are correct. So 2 different ways of calculating an average, and we're getting 2 different answers. Okay, so last year 123 students left the college with a pass in English. This year 27 more than last left with a pass, and the number of students leaving college with a pass has increased by 24%, or is that correct? So here we're calculating a percentage increase or a percentage change. So the formula for a percentage change, whether it's an increase or a decrease, is the difference between the 2 values divided by the original value multiplied by 100. So here we've got a difference of 27. Originally, or the year before, it was 123. So that's our calculation, 27 divided by 123 multiplied by 100, and that comes to approximately 21.9%, and 21.9%, well, that is not the same as 24%, so is the college correct? No, the college is wrong. Use a reverse calculation to show a check of your answer. Well, this is, in my opinion, this would be a crazy thing to do because the reverse calculation is so much more complicated than what we've done before. So let's just do 21.9. So previously we divided 27 by 123 and multiplied it by 100. So to get 21.9%. So if we divide by 100 and multiply by 123, well, hopefully we'll get we should get close. 21.9, remember, was a slightly rounded answer. 21.9 divided by 100 times 123, that gets me to 26.937, which is pretty close to 27, so therefore I know I've got that answer correct. Okay, question number 5. So Tim did a survey at a large shopping centre, etc, etc. We need to complete a 2-way table. So here it is. So what we're doing is we are just looking for a row or a column where there's just one value missing. So for example, we know that there's a total of 400 people, 227 were female, so the number of males is 400, take away 227, which is 173. I can also work out the total for my location, 21 plus 23, which is 44. I've now only got one value missing, which is the total for the food court. So 400, take away the 44, take 62, take 198 is 96. Now I've got one value missing in the food court column. There's a total of 96, of which 40 were male, so the rest were female. 96, take away 40 is 56. And now I can work out the number of females that were shops, which is the total. Take away the number location, take away the 56 food court, and take away the 38 for the free parking, which is 110. And therefore the number of mail that are shops is 198, take away 110, which is 88. And for the free parking, it's going to be 62, take away 38, which is 24. Now, whenever I put in my final value, here it's 24, which was in this column, I'm just going to add this row, and just to make sure that comes to 173, 88 plus 24 plus 40 plus 21 does indeed come to 173. So I know I've got that question correct. Okay, so part B says, from the people taking part in the survey, one person is chosen at random. So how many people took part in the survey? Well, that is 400. So of the 400, we're looking for female who chose location. So here are the females, here are locations, so that is 23. So let's try that again. So that is 23 out of 400. So that is the probability, and this fraction cannot be simplified. So there we go, 23 over 400. Okay, number 6, Wahab sells cars, and what we need to do is work out an estimated mean. Now, so what we've got here is a frequency of 2, number of cars sold each week 1 to 5. Now in these 2 weeks we don't know whether Wahab sold 1 car or 5 cars. So what can we do? Well, let's just assume that for both those weeks he sold 3 cars. So 3 cars, because 3 is the midpoint of 1 to 5. So this column here is the midpoint. So therefore, if in these 2 weeks we're saying that, well, we're estimating that he sold 3, then in those 2 weeks he sold a total of 6 cars. So this column here is just the frequency times the midpoint. It's helpful to understand why we do this. I've tried to describe it the best way I can, but if you just, it's okay just to learn that when you've got a range here, a frequency and 2 blank columns, you need to put in midpoint, and this is frequency times the midpoint. So what is the midpoint of 6 to 10? Well, that is 8. 11 to 15, that is 13. And 16 to 20 is 18. So since we multiplied 2 by 3 to get 6, we need to multiply all of these values as well. And that will give us 90, 96, 117, and 54. So now we need to work out, well, we know there's 26 weeks. These numbers here do add up to 26. So the total number of cars he sold in the 26 weeks is these numbers here added together, and that comes to 273. So we're estimating that he sold 273 cars in 26 weeks. So the estimated mean number of cars is 273 divided by 26, which is 10.5. So Wahab estimates he sold a mean average of 10 cars per week. We've got 10.5. Well, first of all, you can't sell half a car, so well, we could round that up to 11, I suppose. But I mean, 10.5. You know, this is we're dealing with estimates here. This isn't an exact mean, because we're making lots of assumptions, namely that in this first column here, in this first row here, we're assuming that both weeks it was 3, and as I said, it could have been 1, could have been 5. So I think Wahab's estimate of 10 compares quite well to 10.5. So is the estimate of the mean correct? I would say yes, because 10.5 is close to 10. I'm sure that's absolutely fine. I think the key part of the question is showing that you get to this value here though. Okay, so question number 7, we want to work out the volume of the cuboid. So the volume of the cuboid is the 3 dimensions multiplied together. So here we've got 6 along the bottom, we've got 3, it's got a height of 3, which is also the same on the side, and a depth of 1, 2, 3, 4. So the volume is going to be 6 times by 3 times by 4, and that comes to 72. So 72 cubic centimeters. And for B, we want to draw the plan. Now the plan is the view from above. So if this is the front and this is the side, we are going to be looking down on this part here. So we're going to be seeing a rectangle which is 6 by 4. So all we need to do here is just draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? Yes, that's 6 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally using a ruler. And there we go. That is the plan view. Question number 8. Mina runs a football club and she needs to order a size 3, size 4 and a size 5 football in the ratio of 6 to 2 to 1. So what I'm going to do is work out, well, we've got a ratio here. Usually when we've got ratios, a key thing to consider is turning the ratio into fractions. Now the size 3 is going to be 6/9 of the total, size 4 is 2/9 and size 5 is 1/9. Why are we dealing in ninths? Well, that's because 6 plus 2 plus 1 equals 9. So if she's ordering 180 footballs, then 6/9 of 180 are going to be size 3. So it's right here that is the size, that is size 3. 2/9 of 180, that's going to be the size 4. And 1/9 of 180, that is the size 5. Okay, so the size 5 is nice and easy. 1/9 of 180, the calculation is 180 divided by 9, which is 20. This calculation here, we're working out a fraction of the total, so we take our total, we divide by the number on the bottom, we multiply by the number on the top, and that comes to 40. When you think about it, if 1/9 is 20, then 2/9 is going to be double that, so 40. And again, we're going to do exactly the same thing here, so that's going to be 180, divide by the number on the bottom, multiply by the number on the top, and that gives us 120. And if we just double check, 120 plus 20, 140, plus another 40, 180, and that was the total number of balls that was required for the order, so we know we've got that one right. Okay, so Mina also needs to buy medical equipment, so she can buy them in individual boxes or boxes of 5. Well, how many 5s go into 23? It's 4 with 3 remaining, so she's going to get 4 boxes and then 3 individual packets. So 4 boxes, that is going to be 4 times by £20 and 25 pence, and 40 times £20 and 25 pence comes to exactly £81. Then the 3 individual packets, that's going to be 3 multiplied by £4.49, that comes to £13.47, £81 plus the £13.47, that comes to a total of £94.47. Can Mina buy 23 packets of plasters for less than £100? So the answer is yes, because £94.47 is less than £100. So the answer here is simply yes. So for this question we need to work out the value for x. So ABC is a triangle. We know angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 180 degrees, take away 58 degrees, take away 63 degrees. Sorry, this is me trying to work out this angle here, and therefore this angle here is 59 degrees. Now ACD is a straight line. Angles on a straight line add up to 180. So 180 degrees, take away the 59 degrees, that comes to 121 degrees. There we go. Use estimation to check your answer. Again, I think it's quite a strange way to check the answer here. So we could call this 58 degrees, we could call that 60. We could also round that down to 60. So 60 plus 60 is 120, so therefore this angle here would be 60 as well. 180 take away 60 is 120 degrees. There we go, we got 121. That's pretty close, so by estimation we successfully checked our answer there. Okay, question number 10, we need to work out, is the average speed less than 50? Well, let's work it out. What we need to do is work out the average speed. So we know that speed, well, we should know that speed is the distance divided by time. Now, if the speed is in miles per hour, we need the distance in miles, and we need the time in hours. So the speed is the distance, which is 18, divided by, okay, but we've got the time in minutes. Okay, so what we are going to do is, if I put in 24, then the speed is going to be miles per minute. Actually, we can do that. 18 divided by 24, and 18 divided by 24 is 0.75 miles per minute. So if it does 0.75 miles in a minute, then it will do 60 times that in an hour. So 0.75 multiplied by 60, and that is 45. So that is 45 miles per hour. Is the average speed of the car less than 50 miles per hour? Well, yes. It's 45 miles per hour. Question number 11. Okay, so first of all, Mario's got 3 rolls of wire, and there's 500 millimeters per wire, so 3 500s is 1500 millimeters. So he's got 1500 millimeters of wire available, and this is, we can see a picture or a diagram of the earring. So let's work out how much wire is required. So let's make sure we count the number of these sides correctly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here is the earring. So that is going to be 12 lots of 9 plus the circumference of the circle. Now the formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, or pi times the diameter. 2 times the radius is a diameter. If you want, you can, the diameter is 25, you could half it. Seems a bit pointless halving it to get a radius, just to double it to go back to the diameter again. Anyway, plus 25 pi. Okay, so there's our calculation. So 12 times by 9 plus 25 times by pi, what we get here is a total of 186.5398 millimeters, and that is for one earring. So all I need to do is multiply the 186.5398 times by 8. I'm just going to, this answer is currently sitting on my calculator, so I'm not going to round it or anything, just times 8, and I get 1492.31, and that is less than 1500. So will Mario have enough wire to make 8 of these earrings? Well, yes, because 1492.31 is less than 1500 millimeters, and we are done on that question. Okay, question number 12. So first of all, what we need to do for this question is we need to work out how much would a garage pay for a car which is 5 years old. Now what we need to do here is draw in a line, a line of best fit. Now a line of best fit is a line which goes right through the middle of these points pretty much. Now no two people are going to do exactly the same line. If I asked a group of 6 students to do this, they might have 6 slightly different lines, and all of them would be equally valid perhaps. So there we go, there is my line drawn in. So what I need to do here is go up from 5 years, and I reckon I'm hitting somewhere, it's hard to see because hard to say because my line is so fat, but I reckon it's halfway between 8,000 and the next line up. So what are we going up in here? So 0 to 2,000, it's got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 2,000, so we're going up in 400s. So I think I'm halfway between 8,000 and 8,400, so I'm going to say 8,200. So garage pays £8,200. Now obviously the garage needs to make a profit, otherwise they're just a charity really, so they are selling it for 34% more, so I need to increase this by 34%. So 8,200 multiplied by 1.34. Now if you're wondering where that number comes from, if you're calculating 34% of an amount, you would use the multiplier 0.34, which is this figure here, divided by 100. If you want to increase by this percentage, we just add 1 to that figure to get the 1.34. So 8,200 multiplied by 1.34, that comes to a total of 10,988, and that is the selling price. Oh, 2 L's, it's selling price. And we need to work out a monthly payment, and there are 24 equal monthly payments. So all I need to do now is just divide the 10,988 by 24, and what do I get? I get a total of 457.83 recurring, so £457.83. There we go. So 457.83. Okay, and that is the end of the paper.